pharmacology, oh my freaking god, it's so demanding. With pharmacology, we had to read chapters 1 through 9. First day of class, teacher's like, okay, hi, my name is Sonia Washington. I'm going to be your instructor. I'm like the head instructor. These are my co-workers or whatever. We're all going to be teaching the class. And I'm like, okay, that's fine or whatever. So she was like, by the way, did I tell you all to read chapters 1 through 9 by Monday? Mind you, it's Wednesday. And I'm like, oh my god, I don't know how to make it. I'm gonna fail. Oh my god. You know, just, hey guys. So I'm in here again doing a video on first day of class, which I only have 3 classes, which are pharmacology for nursing, pharmacology, and nursing process 2. Which is just the second half of our fundamentals of nursing book, and our first clinical component. The first day of class was first day of class. You know, being in nursing, the first day of class is usually pretty much intimidating because you're like, oh my god, nursing is so hard. A lot of people don't make it. I'm so happy I made it. How am I gonna stay in? Like, what do I need to do? Who I need to talk to? I need to utilize everything. I need to know every resource that's available to me. Well, on our first day, okay, I think I'm gonna start off with nursing process because that's the class I have at 8 o'clock, and then at 10 I have pharmacology. So with nursing process, our teacher was like, don't talk when I'm talking. Don't be late because I'm going to call you out. Like, don't have your phones on because if I see them, then you like, I'm sending you out. Just go. So I'm like, oh my god, this lady's going to be like just so mean and so just like strict and disciplined. Like, she's just going to be horrible. Well, we get to class and I personally think she's really like easygoing. Like, and her whole motto is, I have to be strict with you all and I have to discipline y'all because we're working with real people. Y'all are like just coming in, so y'all don't know how it really is. And you know, like, I have to get y'all together and get y'all in line or y'all not gonna be doing stuff right. Y'all gonna be messing up people, like getting them, like they're gonna have infections. You might even do something that may cause fatality. So I'm like, well, I understand that or whatever. So, you know, like, She doesn't seem bad to me at all. Some people, a lot of the upperclassmen say they don't like her, but I mean, personally, I think she's cool. So you just don't, right? But and then for form, well, and then we had 3 chapters for our first test, but we had like 2.5, 3 weeks to do it or whatever. So I'm like, well, that wasn't bad at all. Pharmacology, our first test isn't until September 15th, and then our pharmacology our first test is on the 1st. We just started coming to school on, when did we have our first class? August 16th, I want to say, maybe the 16th or 17th, something like that. That's when we had our first class. So I mean, it's not bad at all, the time frame. And then we have till the 15th, but pharmacology, oh my freaking god, it's so demanding. With pharmacology, we had to read chapters 1 through 9. First day of class, teacher's like, okay, hi, my name is Sonia Washington. I'm going to be your instructor. I'm like the head instructor. These are my co-workers or whatever. We're all going to be teaching the class. And I'm like, okay, that's fine or whatever. So she was like, by the way, did I tell you all to read chapters 1 through 9 by Monday? Mind you, it's Wednesday. And I'm like, oh my god, I don't know how to make it. I'm gonna fail. Oh my god. You know, just acting stupid or whatever. Which, I mean, I really felt overwhelmed at that moment, but I'm so nonchalant to where it's like 15, 20 seconds later, I'm just like, whatever. So chapter 2 is just like a beast. It's like so long. I'm still on chapter 2, you guys. It's hard. This is hard. Don't follow me when it comes to this kind of stuff. I usually like to keep on top of my reading, and like before it's assigned, I read it. but I don't. How do you not fall behind when you have to read 9 chapters in like 4 days? I don't know. When one chapter is like 3 chapters. I don't know. I look so just emotionless right now. Anyways, and then my first day for the Spanish for nursing class, it was really cool. We learned a lot. Well, I didn't really learn that much. I learned some stuff, but because I have like 4 years background in Spanish, 2 in high school, 2 in college, so it's like we did a lot of the basics like hola, adios, hasta luego, hasta mañana, and stuff like that or whatever. But we did do some new stuff like usted es muy amable, which means you're very kind and stuff like that. Like, I didn't know that, but I mean, and like firme aquí, which means sign here. Like, we're learning stuff that is just so like simple, but it makes a world of a difference knowing another language, especially Spanish, because the Hispanic population is continually growing. Like, they passed up the African American minority. And I'm just like, oh my God, we've been here for like hundreds of years. And you guys passed us in like, what, 30, 40 years maybe? 50 years, And it's only because they multiply faster than we do or whatever. Like, they be on it. They be on it. But, yep, that's pretty much it or whatever. And, for my Spanish class, we do oral presentations for an hour instead of having tests. She was like, you'll never have a written test, so don't worry about it. And I'm just like, thank the Lord. Because, I mean, I can study or whatever, but, I mean, to say it, I'm going to remember it faster than... Because even though I'm a visual learner, I'm going to remember it, like, seeing it on the paper, as opposed to, oh, look, this means this or whatever, looking at the paper. Because I have photographic memory, so I'm going to remember, oh, okay, I remember seeing this or whatever. So, oh, this means this, Like, my stomach hurts, me duele estómago, instead of saying my stomach hurts. Let's pick this one. Let's pick that one on multiple choices. Alright, guys. Here, as usual, is a mess. Well, it was actually really, really pretty yesterday, but living in this rainy state, you can only imagine what happened. It started raining and I clipped it up, Yeah. But, that's pretty much all for the first day of school. Guys, I had my first clinicals. Oh my God, my first clinical. I was so nervous. We did hand hygiene, which is hand washing, and we did assessing height and weight on patients. Which, I mean, I wasn't nervous about height and weight at all because I knew the questions. I knew you have to ask them if they've eaten in 30 minutes, if they're on a menstrual cycle, if they're females, or like, just questions like that or whatever that would affect their height and weight. And for hand washing, I was really nervous, guys. I was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna fail. Oh my God. Because this girl had came out, she was like, I touched the sink. And usually when you touch the sink, when you're washing your hands, you're supposed to start all over from the beginning. So the girl was like, well, I was like, I touched the sink, do you want me to start over? So the teacher was like, no, don't worry about it. Just come to the skills lab for 6 hours next week. Which basically means you get enough. And whenever you do, what am I trying to say? Oh, usually we only have to do skills lab, which is the simulation lab. We only have to go 3 hours a week. But if you fail a check off, then you have to do 6 hours the week following your failure. So if I get an F, my clinical day is Thursday. So if I get an F Thursday, next week I'm gonna have to do 6 hours, and then I'm gonna have to do a check off on hand washing, and then on blood pressure, TPR, which is temperature, pulse, and respiration, and I'm gonna have to do a check off for physical assessment, which is gonna be what we're gonna be testing on next week. So I'm gonna be in at 6 hours working on 3 hours. Like, the way they do it, 3 hours is supposed to be for one thing, like with blood, BP, and TPR, and then the second set of 3 hours is supposed to be for the next thing, which is physical assessment for us. So, I guess it makes sense logically, but, I've been working on it for 3 hours already. What makes you think I want to work on it for 3 more hours and then do 3 hours on top of that? So So it's like you spend 9 hours basically on one thing. Well, really spending 6 hours on one thing, but I mean, because you already had 3 hours, I don't know. Anyways, but yep, it was interesting. So guys, so while I'm doing my not physical assessment, I have physical assessment because I think I'm gonna fail, guys, because it's gonna be so much and I just forget and I'm dingy, and yeah, I don't know, but I just think that is, I don't know, I'm probably just gonna be like whatever when I get to it, because that's typically how I do. But anyways, so I'm washing my hands and I'm waiting on the teacher to tell me, okay, to ask me a question, because everybody's like, oh yeah, she drilling people up in there, you better be on your P's and Q's, you better know this, that, and the other. So I'm like, okay, I got this or whatever. So I'm like so nervous or whatever. I'm just like, I was nervous for like while I was rinsing my hands and while I was putting the soap on them or whatever. So so after that, I'm just like, whatever. But I'm still nervous when she asked. So she was like, whenever you rub your hands together, what does that create? So I look at my hands and I'm like, lather? And she's like, no. And I'm just like, all I can do is laugh. I'm just like, that is retarded. I'm just like, that is too stupid. So then she was like, it starts with an F, like, and I'm like, friction? And she was like, yeah. So I'm just laughing. Sorry, guys. Beautiful. So I'm just laughing or whatever. And she's like, okay, you passed. So I'm like, all right. And she was texting for some of it. So I'm just like, whatever. So then she's, my friend, she's like, how many milliliters are on a teaspoon? And in my head, I'm thinking, this ain't no pharmacology. Why you got me doing conversions or dimensional analysis, whatever you want to call it, you know? So that's what I'm thinking in my head or whatever. So my friend was like, baby, I don't know. So she was like, have it for me next time we see each other. Which I'm just rolling laughing or whatever. So we calculated, it's about 5 milliliters. It's 5 milliliters in a teaspoon and 15 in a tablespoon. 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's whatever. But it wasn't bad at all. Pharmacology lab, which is the part where we do the dosage calculations. The teacher's like, okay, you get to take a dosage calculations test 2 times. You fail both of them, you fail the class, basically. And then our grading scale, you have to have a 94 to 100 is an A, a 86 to a 93 is a B, a 78 to a 85 is a C, and then anything lower than a 77, okay, a 77 to a 70 is a D, which you can't make a D in your major courses, so it doesn't even matter. It's like you fail anyways. So, and then a 69 lower is an F. So you can't have, a 78 is the lowest grade you can make and still pass that course. Which I'm just like, oh my god, how am I gonna do it? I don't know. But I mean, it's not that bad, so I should be fine. But yep, that's all, guys. Gotta go study. I have a test tomorrow on asepsis and infection control, vital signs, and hygiene. So go and study really hard. Trying to wait till 4 so I can go and get my dinner in a to-go box. And after that, I'm gonna probably shower and then study we had a study group last night, guys. It was so awesome. I had fun. I learned. It was just like very engaging. It was wonderful. So I totally recommend study groups with preferably less than 6 or less people. I'm telling you guys, it'll help a lot. But anyways, that's all I have for today. So with that being said, I'm gonna say ciao, guys.